So how many people were checking Slack while listening to those? This is for you. A distributed engineering team needs a fast and informal communications tool. But if you want to remain productive, you cannot let this tool take over your working day. You need to remain in charge. I'm Max, and this is Slacking Like a Boss. The instant part of instant messaging is the speed of delivery. It does not mean that I respond to you instantly. Checking Slack should be done in your spare time, 5 minutes before a next meeting, a break before lunch. Deep work should be your priority. You might need to fight Slack a bit for that, because Slack wants you to engage and to respond all the time. So the first thing you do is to turn all of the notifications off, and I do mean all. But what if it's urgent, Max, you might ask? Well, you have a phone, you probably are on PagerDuty, and your team has an on-call. So there are ways for people to get hold of you and your team if it's really important. It turns out just about anything can wait. Since you check Slack infrequently, you will not see everything. You will never catch up. And this goes both ways. Not everyone will see everything that you post. Things that require reply belong in email. Important decisions belong in your docs. The following examples show a few channels and people as equally important, and that's not how it should be set up. You must have clear priorities. Whenever you have time for Slack, start with start, then DMs, then regular channels, and only then anything that's muted. Your start list should be fewer than 10 people and channels long. Your non-muted channel should be about the same. Everything else, either DMs or muted. Curate that ruthlessly and continuously. The power of Slack comes from having the history available and searchable. Two features might interfere with that: direct messages and private channels. Both have their uses, but public should be your default option. The audience for direct messages is fixed, so you cannot add somebody else into a conversation if you need a second opinion. If someone DMs you with a technical or a team-related question, ask them to take it to the team's public channel and answer it there. For private channels, nothing can be shared out. Teams do need a safe space to vent and to discuss sensitive matters, but if most of your technical team discussion is private, it might be something not exactly right with the culture that is forcing that. Slack is not an immutable store. Edit messages after posting to improve your phrasing, or delete and strike messages that turn out to be just wrong. This improves the experience for anyone catching up or searching long after the conversation has ended. On occasion, you might see a message that you really don't like, or somebody will misunderstand your post. It might not feel great to send or receive a message like this, but this is also the best possible way to address the situation. Why? Because it is immediate. It's not something that you'll hear about from your manager 6 months after the fact and will not even remember the context. And it takes a conversation away from a text medium like Slack and into a higher fidelity video or an in-person chat. Integrations are a big selling point of Slack, but many of them do assume that you're constantly checking the app. Most information radiators I don't find to be of much value. They tend to be moved into their own dedicated channels and promptly forgotten about. Useful integrations simplify interactions with people like Polly. They enhance ongoing conversations with relevant information like Datadog, and they access internal information like Lita WTF and Lita Enhance. Reactions are an amazing feature of Slack. They can simplify workflows to a single click. They allow instant feedback, and discovering new ones is a never-ending journey. Like this thanks emoji I thought for 2 years was just a random guy and discovered was Tom Hanks. Reactions can also have unintended side effects. I saw downvotes become less common and acceptable over time. The party parrot emoji can trigger migraines or seizures, and the nice South Park reference can easily offend if you take the time to look up what it is about. It's also a great place to have fun, relax, share a joke, or vent frustrations. Like a yelling channel that lets people express their feelings freely as long as they're expressed in small caps. And I have yet to see a Slack without a cats or a dogs channel. To recap, give Slack low priority but your full attention. Prefer public conversation. Know when to take a discussion away from Slack. Use and write integrations sparingly, and don't forget to have fun. I invite you to share your opinions, workflows, and suggestions with me. Thanks to PagerDuty and Symantec, whose Slacks gave me a lot of material for this talk, and some more reading on Slack on this slide. Thanks.